And welcome everybody to the Grand Prix of Mexico, I beg your pardon. Here we are, the Grand Prix Premier de la Ciudad de Mexico 2021. Mexico City, we're back here. Mexico City, it's like another world. And yeah, there's beautiful Mexico. Mexico is rumored to be developing a Formula One sombrero, which should add 15 minutes to the average siesta. That's the kind of technology we're talking about here, people. Mexico City. It's like another world. Mexicans, of course, famous for their tunnel building and have half of the longest tunnel system in the Americas. I believe that's somewhere around the American border. But as we can see, look at that. Lots of cars in Mexico. It's a beautiful place. It's one of the world's largest cities, and with every right. Look at this, because they got a lot of space. I mean, nobody else has roads that wide. That's all I'm saying. That's why it's a big city. And oh, we got Screw Simos Funk. Thank you very much indeed. That's brilliant. And hello Savage, hello Spooky, of course. So let me just put that up. Spooky Bedhead. There we go. So welcome and welcome Fabio.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. I mean, I've never thought I saw it coming. You know, that was brilliant. Yeah.
I noticed you didn't say fuck Fabio and screw Simos.
I spent all my hotel money on that sign.
Alliteration, fucking alliteration.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. And of course, welcome Savage. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure for you to be here. So yeah, onwards, I guess. Fabulous Fabio, of course, joining me, and Pit Lane Peter also with us. We've sent him to Mexico. Well, he stayed in America apparently. Unfortunately, we couldn't pay for him to get over the border, so he was one of the people that actually found out how long the tunnel system was. But he, of course, going the opposite way. Very strange person. Never mind, there we go. Onwards. It was a fantastic race. Everything happened in the first 900 meters. That was it. So I'm basically, the whole race is just 900 meters long, and I'm going to give you some commentary on that, how that happened. So there were 5 lights. They came on, they went out. Lewis Hamilton in pole position, Valtteri Bottas in pole position, Lewis in second. The 2 Mercedes away first with the 2 Red Bulls behind. Unfortunately, the Buffalo girl came round the outside. That's, of course, excuse me a second. Of course, that was Max Verstappen. And he basically came round the outside of Valtteri Bottas, who really, I feel, failed to block him. But, you know, maybe I'm a little bit prejudiced on this, but I would have thought it wouldn't have been too easy to at least try to block, at least stay on the racing line. That's what I would have thought he would have done. But no, of course he didn't. He decided to try and block Lewis, push Lewis to the inside of the track and give him a harder braking zone. I don't know what he's doing. I'm just saying it does prove the point that he should have been sacked mid-season. And I will keep on going on about that, because I feel that as the season goes further on, it turns out that is in fact the deciding factor this year. The number 2 drivers. Anyway, there we go. Max round the outside, as quick as you like, taking full advantage of the space given. Didn't even have to slow down to go round. Unbelievable. Bottas, what are you doing? And then into the first corner. Well, of course, that left a squeeze on for Bottas, because Lewis was obviously getting pretty pissed. Bottas braked far too much for the first corner, and that, of course, allowed forced, I would think, Ricciardo to go into the back of him more than it being Ricciardo's fault. They both spun out, went to the back of the grid. Then it was just a matter of Lewis chasing after Max, trying to get close, but Max was just too fast. As we've said before, Max is a superb driver, and he drove this race superbly. I can't give him enough praise for what he did in this race. From 3rd place on the grid, which is the best starting place at Mexico. That's a fact, an absolute Formula One fact. And of course, He basically came out into the lead and stretched away around the first lap, and that was it. Lewis could do nothing about it. I don't think the Mercedes was really on form, although qualifying, of course, they did prove to have the fastest car, but I think that was more mistakes by the Red Bull drivers than anything else. So, and that's how the race went. There was very little else to it. There was carnage throughout the grid. Tsunoda out in the first lap. Mick Schumacher out in the first lap. All crashes. Safety car came out for that first lap, and then lap 4 went back in again. Max made a fantastic restart. He could have been an IndyCar driver for all we knew. It was that good, and no chance again. Lewis, that was the only chance that Lewis had to get by, and he didn't manage to do anything about it. So that's about it, really. Excuse me. I'm just going to take a wee second to have a cup of tea. Fabio.
Yeah, I mean, we had a wonderful start from Bottas that we all know and love. And yeah, I mean, while I might agree with Simos, he should have been sacked during mid-season. The problem is that they would never do that in Mercedes, and I was, proven right. Yes, that's just the kind of team, that they are. Yes, as far as the rest of the race, someone was talking about it. I mean, of course, he fell asleep. That was his turn, not mine, last race. But yeah, I mean, there was some interesting things which happened. Well, bad luck for Ricciardo, which was the best in the McLaren. He just found Bottas, and I agree with him. I agree with Simos. It was. I would say, like 70-30, 60-40 fault of Bottas, breaking too early. I think Bottas was trying to give, the slipstream to Lewis, not realizing that Lewis, had a way better start. Now, listen, I'm just saying things. You know how much I don't care about Bottas. No, so I mean,
that's fine. Yeah, I don't think he was trying. That's what made me so amazed, right? That's what made me so amazed.
I know.
Bottas decided to crowd on Lewis. Right, rather than just getting on the fucking racing line, which is all he needed to do. If he'd done that, Lewis would have gone into the first corner first.
He was looking at the right. I mean,
unbelievable.
Who he reminded me? He reminded me of another idiot driver. I think it was a British driver named Nigel Mansell. When he did the same thing with Alain Prost, I think it's actually Nigel Mansell did something worse than that, but it was the same thing, and he got to the podium. Well, what Bottas wasn't able to do was get on the podium and celebrate, which is something that fucking moron with the mustache did. But I digress. I'm not salty at all. Things happened 20 years ago.
More than 20. Let me just say that. More like 35 years ago. Oh, no. 1990. 1990. Yeah. To be fair, 30 years ago. Yeah. Cut
me some slack. So,
okay.
Anyway, no, there was some other interesting things. The way that Alpha totally ruined the race for Giovinazzi, which, it was fifth after all the shenanigans at the first corner. It was a very good position. They just fucked him up like royally. If you pick anybody which knows nothing about strategy in F1 and tell you, okay, you decide what to do, they would never fuck that up royally. They just destroyed his race.
Yeah.
And actually, Kimi got 8th. So, I mean, the car was there. There was some interesting things, in Mexico. We knew from the get-go that cars like, especially the Mercedes, were going to be at a disadvantage because of the smaller turbines, which is something that Honda doesn't. I mean, I think Honda has the biggest one. And Ferrari's got, fairly sized one. Actually, I mean, the engines were going pretty strong. We saw the difficulties that they had, in overtaking even Giovinazzi and all that stuff. And by the way, talking about Bottas, I can't remember. It's now like 10 past 8 UK time of Monday. Do you know if he has managed to overtake Ricciardo yet?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he eventually did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
eventually when they got in a taxi at Heathrow Airport.
Okay. No, I was worried about that because apparently it was really difficult. That was
Unbelievable. I
That
mean,
was.
obviously, like I wouldn't blame him for that because Ricciardo was driving fantastic. That's the first thing, and B, the McLaren was actually faster in a straight line than the Mercedes because they had less wing, which just goes to show how good he was driving, really. But
Yeah.
so I'm not
Yeah.
actually surprised he couldn't get by. What I
No.
am
Yeah.
surprised about is that. Oh, sorry, go on.
No. I was just thinking it's not like Bottas is driving a Mercedes. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, they put more wing on the Mercedes, obviously, to try and preserve the tyres, which didn't work either. And that's the thing,
Well,
right? They've got
not
this
not
low rate
Bottas
concept.
tires. I mean, I think he changed tires 4 times, in order to make the fastest lap at the
Yeah,
end.
and the
So
fastest- yeah,
tires for Bottas were not a problem. They also fucked it up, and I'm sure they didn't make it on purpose, but I don't think that anybody was too aggravated when the front left tire didn't come up, as it was supposed to be.
I think
Yeah.
I think afterwards I didn't see the interview, but I did see the title of the interview with Wolf saying that they were very disappointed about Bottas in the first corner. And I just think that was the major understatement of the Grand Prix, because I would have been livid, And right there and then, I don't see why they don't still make that deal and just say, "Fuck you, Bottas, get the fuck out. Let's have the main man, and give him at least a few races before the end of the season to get used to being with Mercedes," which makes much more sense to me, even though they've already shot the championship as far as I'm concerned.
Remind me for a second, who is the agent of Bottas?
Is it Wolf? Toto Wolf?
I think so.
Yes, it is. But he's getting his money either way, so I don't see why he wouldn't.
But it's getting more money, so.
Well, not if they come second in the championship.
Well, yeah, I think he's got enough money, in the past 7 years.
Yeah.
And there is the other thing, that when Mercedes, and again, we've been saying that for what, 4 to 5 years, whatever, when Mercedes has got, well, I wouldn't say issues, but when they have to fight for a position, they are not really the best team ever, in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. There's two things. Firstly, I disagree with that statement on the face of it. Not that I'm saying it's completely wrong, but I just disagree with it. Hey, Gamania, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. But I would say that, tactically they were a bit better a few years ago. Now, admittedly, they had the advantage of having a far superior car, which makes tactics a lot easier to get right. 100%. But they were on the ball a few years ago with tactics. So that was one thing. The second thing I'd just say is that their type of car that they build every year. Don't know what the type of car I'm trying to say is that their value for this type of car that they're trying to build, which is this fast out front car that just has the maximum amount of downforce, efficient downforce. Which is normally the way F1 cars have been fast in the past, because they're up against a Newey design car, because they've had, or Red Bull have had several years to develop this concept. Okay, I think that's what the issue is. Red Bull have made their car so it's a number 2 car.
Well,
right, and they will struggle once they get a fast enough, or once they put their thing on. So. Once they get out front,
Sorry, no, finish. I'm sorry.
No. That's it. I'm just saying, with next year's regulations, where it'll be easier to follow, then I think they will start falling foul again of being having a high rake down or a high rake setup. But whether that's the case, that next year they stay with that high rake concept, that was the word I was looking for. Whether they stay with the high rake concept next year, that could be a whole new ball game as well, right? Because we just don't know.
But listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm just saying is that it's exactly the point that you just said. You have a car which is set up for in such a way, and you find yourself in a position where you cannot exploit that side of the car. You should try to compensate it with smarter tactics. And in that area, they just fail. Compared to Red Bull, compared to Ferrari. I mean, or McLaren. There's some teams that they have really smart tacticians. And Mercedes is not one of them.
I agree. And I think we said this like earlier on when this first came up. We were saying, or I said to you, I don't know, but I said to you, look, I wish they would just take the downforce off their car, give up on this idea that they're going to be like super quick in qualifying, and just give the drivers the chance to overtake, because that's really what's going to do it. And they did that for a few races, right? And it seemed to bring them level again, at least with the Red Bull. But now they seem to have gone back again to trying to put maximum downforce on the car again, and just try and keep a small advantage on top speed. I think that's where they're going wrong again, because they're just falling into the same trap of saying, right, as long as if we can't get close enough, you know what I mean?
No, but it's because of that approach. I don't think they feel safe with their tactics. So what they're trying to do is saying, listen, we know that our car is good in those conditions. We have to try to put that car in those conditions. But I understand you would like that to happen. I agree with you. But you got to have a contingency plan if that doesn't happen. Because guess what? There is a lot of people driving on a Sunday, and all of them, they're trying to ruin your party. So you cannot, you cannot start with the attitude that, this is my plan, this is how it goes. I mean, it's not like invading Poland, you know what I mean? In 1939.
What do you mean? It's only going to happen slowly. Yeah, okay.
See, so yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. If they thought it was, I think they would be. They'd probably have bought Mick Schumacher. But that's besides the point. I do think. And Mazepin. Those two drivers I would be buying if I was trying to invade Poland. Okay, so just to finish up then. I think we'll do the race results, and then we will go on and just talk a little further, because there's a couple of other points I would just want to make. So if we could, Peter, please, if we could have up the race results, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, so of course, Buffalo Girl number 1, Max Verstappen, he went round the outside at the first corner and came first, no looking back. Lewis Hamilton followed him in all the way, just couldn't keep pace with the Red Bull. Not too much surprise, but there we are. And so he came second, of course, extending the lead to probably 18 or 20 points, 19 points probably, 19 points. Sergio Perez in third, doing his job for Red Bull to make sure that they also take the lead in the constructors. Well done to him, a very good drive. Gasly getting up to fourth, where he came from, I've got no idea, but a fantastic drive again. That Alfa and the Honda engine, as a result, I think we can now safely say, is probably the strongest on the grid. So well done to Honda. Why they do this every time they get good and then they leave?
They're pushing AlphaTauri because they see that as a good contender. Something to put in between the Mercedes, good for Red Bull. So
100%, 100%. Yeah. They've unleashed the engine in the AlphaTauri for sure, and it really worked. I've got to say that, because the pressure I think the Mercedes felt under was huge.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Honda engine in the AlphaTauri is actually more performing than the one in the Red Bull. They don't care about reliability. They just want to put somebody in there in between, and if it goes well, like it did, they got fourth place, and I think they also lost the championship. Mercedes also lost the championship.
Constructors Championship.
Constructors,
yeah, that's right. which is down to Perez finishing and being a good second place man in the team, I think. And it was obvious once again, it was very obvious that Sergio was there to back up and be the butler. Completely expected, of course. From years back, it's been the case that anybody that joins that team is going to be the second fiddle to the great Max Verstappen. Okay, who didn't crash?
Like
Fantastic.
Bottas, so...
Exactly like Bottas, yeah. Okay, into a fantastic day, of course, although really weird coloured suits there, but never mind. Daniel Ricciardo, really? In fifth?
Really?
Really? I'm not sure
about that. I would have loved to see Ricciardo in Ferrari, but first of all,
I may have misspelled Leclerc's name, I think.
Yeah, it's just misspelling.
It was a dream day.
It's so easy to.
This is the British spelling. I will come back to that later.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
British spelling. Okay, so yeah, in fact, it was Leclerc, the pastry in fifth place, and a great job. Carlos Sainz backing him up perfectly, fantastic, and that allowed Ferrari to take third place for the Constructors' Championship now, which is a fantastic result for them, and of course much expected late in this season. Vettel in seventh place, a good race, kept his nose clean, what you'd expect from somebody driving around this circuit where it is a tricky circuit, so experience does tell here. Eighth place for Kimi Raikkonen, a fantastic race for him. Again, kept his nose clean. His teammate Giovinazzi, very unlucky. I think he's been hard done by in Formula One, really, but not much he could do. It's politics. At worst, and worse than that, it's Italian politics. So what else can you do?
Sorry, I got to correct you. It's not Italian politics. It's Swiss politics.
Swiss. Okay. Yeah, it's Swiss politics. Yeah, sure. Okay, so
no. I mean, if you want to talk about
we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Thank you, because when we get down to Giovinazzi, we'll talk about it. So ninth place, then, for 2 points. Of course, Alonso, again, man of experience. Well done to Alonso. He had a tricky beginning of the race, but managed to battle his way through, keep on a steady keel, and finish ninth. 10th place for Lando Norris. Disappointing considering his car, and again kind of disproves my theory of Mercedes should be taking wing off, because that's what McLaren did, and it didn't work for them. 11th place then, just out of the points, is Giovinazzi, again showing that car has got pace, especially at these kind of circuits, again probably because of the engine, as we know. Ricciardo managed to battle his way from the back of the grid into 12th place. Really quite a good comeback considering his first corner mayhem. Broke his wing on Bottas's car when he spun him in the first corner, so he had to take a long pit stop. Of course, he was able to catch back up, but because of the safety car. But nonetheless, a good race for him considering. 13th place was, of course, Ocon, who showed the pace of the car, backing up the experience of Alonso. Stroll in 14th, backing up, not backing up so well. He actually had a very good beginning of the race, but managed to throw it away at one point by just being slow, I think, not being able to get past one of the cars. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Ocon. Never got past Ocon, couldn't overtake him. So there you go. 15th place is the butler, the big butler himself, Bottas, who was extremely disappointing, and he couldn't get past Ricciardo, but still Ricciardo managed to finish a few places ahead. Strange. I think it's almost like his head went down. I think he was trying to deliver drinks to Toto Wolff halfway through the race. It didn't really work out for him. 16th place, Russell. That car just didn't have any pace. So I think Russell basically manhandled it into 16th, which is about the best he could do. He was going nowhere with that car. Didn't have any straight line speed and didn't have any downforce. Had too much tyre wear. All of the things. 17th place was, of course, Nicholas Latifi, the other Williams with no pace, and then Mazepin, who didn't spin this weekend, funnily enough. So that's a good sign. 3 laps down, though. 3 laps down. So that has Ferrari. I don't know what Ferrari are doing, but they're not giving him the same engine that they've got in the main brand. Let's say that much. We would suspect 19th place, though, was, of course, probably DNF's. DNF number 1, Mick Schumacher in the first lap as a result of hitting a collision with Alonso, and Tsunoda also as a result of that same collision, also out in the first lap. He must be extremely disappointed because he was on for a really good result, bearing in mind his teammate finished 4th. And that's the race result rundown. So thank you very much for that. You were going to say about Giovinazzi, who you don't think is necessarily a victim to politics.
Well, no, it's a victim to politics, but they're internal to the team. Vasseur never. So when Ferrari gave the powertrain to Sauber, to Alfa, they also put on the contract that one seat should have been reserved for somebody from the Ferrari Academy, and that seat was occupied by Giovinazzi. But Vasseur never liked that deal. He never went after that deal. I mean, he just gave the seat, but he never supported a deal. And they had talks last week about selling the whole team to Andretti, which went tits up. But again, they just don't care about the driver. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, but that's the way it is. They've been, that guy has been sacrificed, and again, that we saw that in the previous races, but in the previous races we could you could always make, I would say, excuses, but there might be some reasoning behind why things happened the way it happened. But I think that after last Sunday, we should reevaluate some of the things which happened in previous races that we just said, okay, that might be unlucky, there might be some, bad tactics and stuff like that. Because what happened yesterday was, I mean, it was fucking unbelievable. It was a precise plan to ruin the race of one of your drivers. There is no way around it, because I understand you might have made a mistake in stopping him so early for the tires. Okay, so but once you do it, you act accordingly and you try to save whatever the fuck there is to save, which never happened. So yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it was quite painful to watch, and again, especially after the position he found himself into.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why they tried to change or go to an alternate strategy, because of where he found himself in the first stint. And then that didn't work. And instead of sticking with it or trying to make the most of it, they seem to just go back to to the original strategy, which just made things 10 times worse. So again, if I were them, I would have left it till late in the race, then put reds on and gone, well, give it a go, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might get a fastest lap or something. You never know.
Right.
As it turns out,
it was really painful to watch. So
yeah, I just think he's been mistreated, not just by Sauber, and I don't think Sauber have mistreated him. I'll be honest with you. I think they made a genuine mistake. I mean, he's been up against Kimi, so of course they've listened to Kimi's input, but they seem to have not. Certainly in the early races, they seem to have given him an equal chance to race with Kimi, and he's done very well. And sometimes he's taken his time to catch up to Kimi. Then he seems to have, got the pace in qualifying, and then he's also been given a chance to race alongside and at least perform as well as Kimi, although usually coming in just behind him. So I think they've given him a good shot, but he was never going to be good enough to get to Ferrari. And if he didn't get to Ferrari, that was it. He's gone, right? So I think when Sainz joined instead of Giovinazzi, I think that was the death nail, really. And they've given him an extra year in F1.
Well, I mean, So the thing is that might be true on the market, but this is not true during the race. During the race, the decisions are made by the team. So regardless of the fact that Giovinazzi might have a future in Ferrari or not, I mean, if you are the owner of the team and you got two drivers, you want to exploit everything from those two drivers, because it's also money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
So again, I think that the fact that Vasseur never liked the old deal from the get go, I think it played a lot of into this situation. They're trying to. I think they're trying to give his seat to that other Chinese guy, even if he hasn't got a super license. It's really weird, and it's really sad, because it shows that it doesn't matter what the fuck you do, even if you find yourself in a position, it might be even by pure chance, like it happened on last Sunday, but the fact that that you're driving a car and your team is not backing you up, it's it's really something that it can kill anybody. Like it just drains your soul. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I mean, I can't really blame the guy. Regardless of the mistakes that he might have made, which he did, regardless of the situation he found himself into, which some of them were questionable. The gist of it is that last Sunday he was really treated in such a way that that it's just not fair, especially because it's your team who treated you like a piece of shit. So I really don't get it. I do not understand it. But fuck the Swiss. I'm just.
Yes, fuck the Swiss. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously I can see that. I mean, do you think they'll be losing the Ferrari engine next year?
I don't know. I don't think so, unless somebody else steps up. But I don't think so. I don't see that coming, because Honda is not there. But what engine could they take? I mean, they could take the Renault engine, maybe.
Yeah.
But they would lose the deal with Alfa, so I don't know.
Yeah. Good point. Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Just as a couple of notes here, right? So this is why teams, shall we say, incentivized. This is how teams are incentivized to make sure that both drivers do the best they can for the championships. First place gets paid 90 million. Second place 80 million. Third place 72 million. Fourth place 65 million. Right, which is the difference there. You see, between third and fourth is 7 million, right? So that's what McLaren and Ferrari are fighting over, essentially 7 million.
Yeah.
Fifth place 62, 59. Seventh place 53, eighth 50, ninth 47, 10th 40 million. So again, the difference between again 7 million roughly all the way. So each place. Giovinazzi slipping down and not having a good race result can cost the team 7 million, and of course they don't pay him anything like that. Of course, there's bonus payouts for the teams, which of course I like to mention every time I can, because of course, as we know, Ferrari get an extra 100 million or 99 million apparently is. But something I hadn't seen recently is this year Red Bull are getting 72 million extra. Right, Mercedes get 12 million. So
fair enough.
Red Bull get an extra 60 million, right? Which I'm just blown away by, absolutely blown away by. We know why Ferrari are there, because they bring brand recognition to Formula One, but why Red Bull are there? I don't think they bring brand recognition to Formula One. But anyway, there you go. Williams get 9 million, McLaren get 12 million. So just to say, those are the teams that get the extra. But as you can see, it's a huge difference between first and second. That's $10 million. So the fact that Bottas has really let the team down, I feel, has let the team down in the second part of the season. Yeah, that's going to cost Mercedes 10 million right there, which I guess is throwaway money for them considering how much they get for advertising. Bearing in mind their budget is in the region of probably 300 million to 350, something like that for
easily,
this year.
Yeah.
Next year, of course, it's being reduced heavily down to 125 million, something like that, maybe. Which means obviously the cars are going to. I don't know how they're going to do it. I still don't know why they agreed to it, other than the fact they had to. But
I think that is the point. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, 350 million on 2 cars. Kind of tells you everything you need to know. Mind you, they've got some big wage budgets, and most of it is this. And of course, when we say they're reducing the budget from 350 million to 125, that doesn't include quite a few things, namely some of the backroom staff, and I think it's the 3 highest paid employees. Is that right? Is it 2 or 3?
Oh, yeah. So it's really funny because, I think we talked about it, I think at the beginning of the season. I might be wrong, but I think that the rule is still that this budget cap is for technicals, right?
Yeah.
And this is where somebody, and I think McLaren started it. I would say it was some British team which started, saying stuff like, okay, we're gonna hire engineers, but we're gonna make them like, PR, or we're gonna put them in marketing, so they're outside the budget cap.
Marketing engineers.
Yeah. Which is
brilliant. No, we're only hiring them so we can say we've got a huge engineering division, right?
Yes.
There's no reason they're not actually going to be engineering.
No,
they're going to be in marketing. Just making sure that they do the best job.
We are not giving them any pencils. So yeah.
Okay, Peter, my script doesn't seem to be working. Hello, Jefferson. Thank you very much for coming by. If you could try and highlight some of the comments right now
I was trying. I found out it's not working either. So
okay.
That might
Savage specifically. I think she was asking why do they get extra. I think she's referring to the extra money. And the reason why they do that is because they get, well, first of all they get it from the FIA. It's not the FIA, it's the FOIA. What the fuck is the name?
Something media, some media company.
Liberty Media, which is the firm which organizes the F1 championship. And they do that because there are some teams which are worth to the F1 brand more than the other. Specifically, they it's all internal agreement. Specifically, they said okay, if next year we will not have teams like McLaren or Ferrari, that's such a well-recognized brands. They bring so many people on TV and on the tracks that we're gonna lose like a billion, a shitload amount of money. So they recognize their marketing power. I don't know how to say that. The brand recognition. I said, okay, we're gonna give you more money, and that's it.
Yeah, and definitely Ferrari. I mean, they've been in the championship for 70 years. Forever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as a result, if they were to leave, right, it would be incredibly damaging for the brand of F1. Yeah. And so they were in a very strong position quite a few years ago to make a deal with the F1 that they get an extra bonus payment for staying in the championship, which gives them a lot of leeway. Then they don't struggle so much with trying to find advertising in lean times when they're at back of the grid or whatever, or mid-range or whatever. So it makes a big difference to F1, as Fabio is saying. And then that's a traditional thing that's happened for many years. So changing it now would only piss them off. And every time somebody suggests that it should be taken away, they threaten to leave or start a new championship. So it's a kind of a Hobson's choice, really, for the FIA. They don't have a lot of choice. Again, I'm shocked about Red Bull, 72 million. Where
Red
the
Bull.
fuck did that come from?
Red Bull is really puzzling. I agree with you. Yeah. Red Bull is really puzzling.
Yeah, they basically took a leaf out of Ferrari's book and just said, well, we're going to leave the championship. Not only that, we'll fund our own one.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they got such a big payment. But it's basically about TV recognition for Formula One. If Ferrari were to lose, they would probably lose like 30% of their fan base overnight, with the potential of having a rival in the industry where Ferrari would have enough. It has enough power to be able to get other brands to leave with them if they were to leave, and so they would be a rival set up, very much like in the States when IndyCar split. There was a big split in IndyCar. The two teams went both ways. One IndyCar is now dead, and the other IndyCar is working. So to avoid that split and the problems which they had during that period, F1, with so much money at stake, needs to keep it together. Jefferson says, I'm enjoying this video while eating chopped up spaghetti. No one tell Fabio. So, yeah, I know. It's just the F1 way to eat spaghetti, apparently.
Well, no, I just know another person who does that. It's Van Elton. So, yeah, you're in good company, Jefferson. Good job. Hey, listen.
Cutting.
It's funny because it's true.
Cutting. Totally cutting. I'm going to put the link in the chat so he can join and have a go at you. No, I'm only joking. Yo,
Van Elton, you put the link.
For Van Elton.
Sure.
He'll go, I designed one of these Formula 1 cars
fuck it.
when I was 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. Okay, so thank you so much, Fabio. That's been great. As Peter can tell, I'm going to bring him in very shortly. It was an interesting race. Again, the end result really is that Max Verstappen has got yet more fingers on his grubby little fingers on the trophy, and I hope the cleaners can do a good job because it's going to be sweaty till the end of the season. 19 points, I believe, is the gap
19.
now.
Yeah,
it is 19, and basically, I think Lewis is really hoping for a DNF from Max. Otherwise, the championship is pretty much gone, like Fabio said last week. So there we go. Okay, in Mexico, I'm going to just dial up Mexico now. There we go. Yeah, hello. Okay, good. Mexico, are you there? Mexico, coming in Mexico.
I am here. I am here. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. I can hear the background. Everyone's having a fucking party as usual.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was trying to tackle some technical error because apparently we can't highlight the chat. There was an update and I seem to be unable to find it. So.
We did that at the beginning though, so I don't know what happened there because
you
highlighted my very first comment.
It did work at the beginning.
Notice as soon as Peter touched it, it fucked up. That's all I'm saying. All right.
It's what
Speaking of which, did you get to Mexico all right, sir?
Yes. I tunneled my way in, as you said, and as you can see, I'm in a beautiful surrounding, which is because I have no money for a hotel, so I'm sleeping in a box in a park, and I just went for the prettiest park that I could find, which doesn't have
We spent all your budget on the bridge in Austin. Sorry.
Yeah, I needed to find a park that hasn't got the bloody mariachi band playing all night because apparently
it's actually not true. He spent all his money in tablets because he didn't want to fall for the Montezuma revenge. That's what happened.
Yeah. Well, he should have left those prostitutes alone. That's all I'm saying.
See. Well, but
okay.
I do have a lot of exciting news. Considering the race wasn't that exciting, we've got a recurring theme, as I said, which actually you started off, and that is premium British performance. I think
I love it.
I think you might recognize that brand.
I've got a couple of cans sitting right in the corner there.
They're going to be worth a lot of money soon. But we'll get to that part later. So, let's get to the actual race. Bottas.
Sorry. I gotta say, 1 retweet, 29 likes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Okay, carry on.
It
Okay.
gets far worse, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so Bottas. Yeah, Bottas. What can we say about Bottas? Well, there was a lot on social
A
media.
lot.
Bottas is doing all he can do to hinder Hamilton. I think they might be onto something. I'm thinking Bottas didn't used to be this bad. So I'm thinking he's going to be kicked out. He's not going to let Hamilton have his 8th world championship. I could be wrong, but I mean, on Twitter, people had a lot of fun with it. Here you can see Bottas Mexico Grand Prix, brilliant pole lap, taken out at turn 1, stuck behind the guy who took him out, slow pit stop. That was basically Bottas's entire race. And McLaren, who was brilliant on Twitter. Oh wait, we got this guy first. I don't know if anyone knows him. He's from the UK, has a magnificent beard. He's called William Story.
He lives just up the road from me, as it goes.
He said Bottas is utterly hopeless and lacks the backbones to be a serious contender. I'd sack him immediately after that balls up. Pathetic driving. He seems to agree with...
Two retweets. He's getting better.
Yeah. He seems to be agreeing with you there. Premium British performance, as we said. And when we get to a very British team, it is McLaren, who also tweeted about things. And it's all about product placement from here, because this is what the tweet highlights, product placement. We'll go to product placement number 1, McLaren. An unseen angle of Daniel Ricciardo's battle with Valtteri Bottas today. I thought that was a brilliant tweet. It's basically...
Yep. That's all Bottas can see.
Yeah, that's all
and
Bottas.
He loves it.
Yeah, and then we go... Obviously, we have to go to the Dutch fans. When it comes to product placement, they were really, really happy to see Max win again. And so this picture was trending on Twitter. It wasn't mine, but okay. And then we come to the podium ceremony. Usually I've got a good spot at the podium. This week I gave it up for some little guy who apparently had a relative that was on... Oh, wait, no, I forgot. We have to go to this one first. This was also trending. Double podio. I think they've got the drivers mixed up, though. First and second. I'm not entirely sure. But...
Which one's first?
The one in front is Checo.
Yeah, okay.
Slightly behind him is Max Verstappen, looking off to the side.
Okay. I see. Very good, yeah.
So, and when it comes to product placement...
What's at the back? What does it say at the bottom?
Produced by Christian Horner.
Produced by Christian
I think.
Horner. Yeah, okay. I don't think either of them are produced by Christian Horner. I think you'll find those two drivers.
And then we come to a very strange product placement. The current world champion. Have you seen the picture? I'm not entirely sure what kind of product he's placing there.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's an appeal to, I don't know. It's some appeal since he's single. He's got to show off.
Yeah, I'd like to know what everybody thinks about that photo. What sticks out to you the most about that photo?
Well, what sticks out the most is probably what he wants to... I don't know. I have no clue.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least we now know why he managed to go out with whatever her name is. Destiny Child, or... What was the name of the band that his girlfriend used to be in? Ex-girlfriend.
I don't know,
Pussycat,
but look
he went out with a Pussycat doll, didn't he?
That's correct.
And
yes,
then
Pussycat Doll,
there
yes.
was Rita Ora, and then there was the
Okay.
American R&B singer.
Okay.
Listen, I'll just say that looking at that picture, it's really, really, really hard to disagree with what Jeremy Clarkson said last week. It's really hard.
Which is
It's really,
what did Jeremy Clarkson say, please, Fabio?
well, he basically said that that people was rooting for Lewis, at the beginning because he was the new blood and all that stuff. And then he started, okay, there was Black Lives Matter, and he painted the car black. And now, he's all, he comes up dressed up like a fucking moron. And people now is rooting for Max because, Max is showing to be the bloody driver, the one which is really, really trying to drive the car. And nobody is really agreeing with Lewis because, Lewis is trying to push things that nobody can really relate to, especially coming from Lewis. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a different case in America. That would be what I'd say. I agree with what you're saying. I think Lewis is really focused on America, and I guess that's why he's the darling of Liberty Media. But
when it comes to the Dutch people, so my brain is already gone. When Fabio said it's really, really hard, everyone can see that just by looking at the picture. It's probably.
Well, it doesn't look hard to me.
Well, I don't know. It's a tight.
That is not the way mine looks hard anyway.
It is a tight fit, which is also a girls' band. So maybe he's looking for a new girlfriend. Going to a tight fit.
Well, I think he's probably going to be pointing at one soon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's definitely pushing something. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's kept something in his pocket.
Yeah. Spooky said.
Well, he's pointing to the right, which is exactly where Bottas went. So you can't really blame Bottas.
It's a subtle message to Bottas.
Yeah.
You're a dick.
Yes.
Oh dear. No, I have to say once again, Bottas fucked up big time. And I think it's deliberate. It looked deliberate to me on TV when I saw it the first time. That was my initial thing. When I look back, I can kind of give him some reasons, but not really. Why the fuck would you get off the fucking racing line?
So
Can anybody answer me that?
Let me put it this way. I will not be surprised if Bottas suddenly gets COVID, which lasts a month and a half. I will not be surprised about that.
Oh, Fabio, I love you so much. Oh, Fabio. Yeah. Right, I'm heading over to him now with a little vial and a hanky.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it happens, you heard it here first. It'll be mine. Geo Sam says reverse camel toe. Yeah, very much. Very, very much.
Yeah.
Yes. More like, I would say it's more like giraffe toe. Anyway, yeah, I know where Spooky says, I know where he keeps his spare socks.
Yeah, probably.
And Savage says, because they might take their ball and go home. That was to do with the payments to particular constructors. Exactly spot on. So there you go.
Okay.
Moving on, Peter. Sorry.
Moving on. Yeah, you just want to have this picture up as long as possible. I get it.
As long as possible.
I'm
almost done now.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, let's get to some more kids-friendly stuff, product placement. I think this was one of the better pictures, having Checo Jr. on the podium, looking up and seeing his dad get the
third
whatever
place.
he got.
Yeah, that's probably the best. That's probably the best he's ever gonna do.
Yeah. But so let's get back to my misspelling of
Daniel Ricciardo.
Charles Leclerc. So Red Bull, that was your theme because that was what you put in the thumbnail. Where's that
Buffalo
located?
Girls go around the outside.
Yeah, where are they located?
Milton Keynes.
How do you spell that?
Milton, as in The Economist. Keynes, as in The Economist.
Yeah, but how do you pronounce it?
Milton Keynes. Or Keynes, whichever you like. But we say Keynes.
Let's check that, shall we?
Aside from the drivers, we've spoken about
quite simply,
enough about them.
It's everybody. It's the people. What you see here is only 10% of what's actually going on. And behind the scenes, the men and women back in Milton Keynes, they've been working incredibly.
Did you hear it?
Milton Keynes, yeah.
No, that's not what he said. Let's go back.
Isn't it?
No. Let's go back.
That's what I heard.
Listen
Where's
carefully.
Peter going with this, everybody? Can you guess where Peter's going with this today, everybody?
No,
Is it through the round window?
Listen carefully.
Square
Listen
window?
carefully. Listen carefully what he says.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, the men and women back in Milton Keynes, they've been working incredibly hard.
He pronounces this mental Keynes.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I have no idea. Now you said it, I might be able to hear it in there. But every time I'm listening to it, I just hear him go, Milton. Like
let's
he's
go
not
back.
pronouncing his T.
Listen carefully.
Behind the scenes, the men and women back in Milton Keynes, they've been working incredibly hard over the.
He definitely said mental Keynes.
Okay.
I want to have this one. So.
Yeah,
well,
everybody in chat. If he said Milton Keynes, press 1. If he said mental Keynes, press 2. We've got 4 people watching, so this could go wrong. 1 for Milton Keynes, 2 for mental Keynes. If you could just type what you heard him say there, please.
Well, and
moving on.
Moving on. One of the first one to be noted on the board as being dropped out of the race was our little Yuki. And we know that he has a contract with Red Bull for next year. But what kind of contract does he have? Because we have seen Vettel cleaning up, but here's Yuki.
Wow!
Wow.
I don't care what they do at the back. So, where's the bring
Yeah.
Here, yeah? Yeah.
And he's really good at that. And he does get some help.
I won't eat ice cream never.
A few other people who seem to be around at that particular point.
Yeah,
There he goes.
I can hear the video, so there's no point in talking at the moment. 111. Spooky says that Milton.
Can you pack my bag in the hotel?
Oh, and there is of course the main man.
Albon.
Yeah. Oh.
The main man is coming in
Barely big
now.
enough to do that.
There you go. Little boy.
Yeah. Good job, mate. Alex, you have hand, yeah?
Yeah.
You have hand,
So,
yeah?
At least we know he has a job next year. Not entirely sure.
I'm just going to hold it here for you.
I can't hear what you're saying, Peter.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he's going to have a job next year. We don't know for sure what kind of job he's going to have, but
Yeah.
he's getting he'll have a job. So
Good.
okay, so let's get back to premium British performance.
I'm sorry, Peter. Before
go
you
ahead.
go, can you just say just a very small thing about the video we saw before? By my experience, there is nothing, like literally nothing, which bonds a team and your mechanic more than what Tsunoda did. Staying after the race, helping them, to dismantle the box, all this stuff, is the best thing, bar none, that you can do to bond the team. That has happened
fully
to me
agree.
a lot of the times, because when everything is over, there is a lot of people making some really hard work, and there's a lot of people making some hard work before the race, and you helping them out, it's the best thing ever. It's better than a bonus. It's better than giving away watches or that stuff. So kudos to Tsunoda, because he is really a team player. Carry on. Sorry.
I fully agree. So, how excited are you, Simos, seeing this particular brand?
About what? Right now, I'm very excited having seen that picture of Lewis Hamilton.
No, this brand. That's
This brand, yeah. Well, I'm literally 5 minutes away from No, I'll say. Anyway, yeah, I'm very excited. What did you mean?
You know,
I've got no idea where this is going. I'm worried.
you
people.
do not know what is coming next year?
No, I
Seriously?
don't know. Well, apart from a new girlfriend, I've
Okay,
got no idea.
there we go.
Good luck to all the drivers at the Mexico GP. Can't wait for the reveal of our new team and, more importantly, to beat up our competitors on track. Premium British performance. Hashtag rich energy. Hashtag F1. Hashtag chapter 2. Hashtag
And what
competition.
do you think he's pointing at?
What do I think he's pointing at? Or he's referring to, you mean? He's probably referring to a sponsorship deal of some sort.
Yes. But where?
Is it...
There is
Okay,
a
come
hashtag.
to
There is a hashtag.
Sauber team.
There is a hashtag.
Sauber team. Whoever they are.
Look, he tweeted this. And he tweeted this.
Oh. Rich energy, yeah. Racing, yeah.
They are planning a comeback in Formula One.
Okay.
Which should be funny because
Which team, though?
that is to be revealed. With our return, we want to make fans central to the team and make the sport more accessible. The Rich Energy F1 Fan Zone launches on December 1st, 2021.
Right. Okay, so it's not a team. Okay, gotcha. It's a fan zone. Gotcha. Okay.
No, it's a team. He.
No, it's not a team, Peter. I would have heard about it. It's not a team.
Wait.
Let me just say that right now.
Did you miss this?
Let's not get caught up in the bullshit.
The
Yeah,
reveal,
I didn't miss it.
The
I just don't
reveal
believe
of our
what you
new
said.
team. The reveal of our new team.
Our new team. What does team mean?
Formula One team.
Or a group of people?
No. Formula One team.
Yes.
On
Yes,
his
I know English.
on his
I know English.
on his Twitter account.
Believe you me.
He has been tweeting about coming back to Formula One in a Formula One team.
I feel there is a bet coming, and you, Simos, can make it even. With one just lost.
You've got to send Fabio this fucking beer.
Hey, I'm rooting for you, man. Come on.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll
And
have-
you know I'm right as well this time. That's why.
We'll have to.
Yeah.
Fabio only backs winners. I can assure you of that.
Well,
We'll have to
Well,
wait
yeah,
and see
obviously
what is coming. But
He's on this show. But apart from that,
I like their logo, by the way.
yes, it's almost copied. Correct.
Yes.
yeah.
And I know that they lost a court case about that logo, and they're still using it.
Well, it's a slightly different logo. They did change the logo.
Yeah.
But it's a very subtle change. But it's
They
enough
did change
to
the
make it legal, I
logo.
guess.
What did they change?
Oh, just the way the horn, the angle of the horns or something like that. It was a very subtle change. I can't remember exactly.
As subtle as the
But
difference that it had in the first place. By just adding a prong.
Yeah. I can't. I don't. Again, this was how long ago did this happen? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yeah, I don't
2 years ago.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. Can't remember. I did buy some though, just for a bet with Fabio. But you know what? I never had the balls to open it.
Yeah.
To actually taste it, because I'm just thinking, oh fuck that.
I
But
mean,
they are lovely cans. I'll give them that.
I
Lovely
can't
cans.
really
Black and
blame you
gold.
for that. Yeah.
Black and gold. We did love the Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so thank you for that, Peter. That's great. Anything else you'd like to add in about the race?
If I hear more from Mr. Story about the upcoming new Formula One team, I'll obviously we'll
They're not the new Formula One team, yes, get you. It costs too much money, basically, to enter Formula One these days. So you can't just rock up with a new team and expect to get on the grid.
Hold on. Last time I checked, they had over 400 British pounds in their bank account.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. That I think Andretti went to Sauber to buy the team for 350 millions. And then the guy said, no, that's just the advance. What we really want is 350 plus another 400 millions.
250 million.
Yeah,
They was going to sell the team for 350 million, And part of the deal was that they would then spend in the first year 250 million, which they didn't want to do.
And
obviously.
and that is fucking sober, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's like your 8th place team or 9th place or 7th place team around there. Right? So that's not going to happen. And so even just to get on the back of the grid, the entry fee to join Formula One, if you don't have it, the license you need is 70 million, right? Plus you've got to spend 125 million on the car for the first year. That's just to get you started. Plus you're probably spending another 200 million or so on manufacturing, getting the manufacturing processes in place, and then it's another 300 million or so for an air tunnel, for a wind tunnel. So, and then you've got to spend money on your CAD and your CAD resources, and that's another 100 million. So, you know, you're talking just too much money for somebody of even somebody as potentially rich as Story is, you know. But I can believe he's doing a fan zone, and he's probably like made a deal with F1 maybe to have some entertainment at each of the Grand Prix or something, or he's made individual deals with the circuits. That's probably what it is. He's not going to be even associated with Liberty Media because of what happened with Haas, of course, Haas.
Yeah.
But there you go. That would be all my bet. But good luck. Good luck if he comes to the team. I'll be happy. Let's just put it that way.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm curious because he seems to be really excited. He's tweeting on 2 accounts about getting back to Formula One. So
yeah. I think he said that last year that he was going to be back at Formula One last year, and he wasn't. He was trying to sponsor a team, sponsorship with commercial sponsorship. But anyway,
I have a better plan to get in F1 if I go and buy a ticket for Monza next year. I'd be closer to F1 right now than he is to F1. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the British Drivers Club won't have anything to do with him either. But anyway, that's another thing. So yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Peter. Anything general about Max's win? What do you think that is for the championship? And Lewis, just give us a quick.
I did check.
Synopsis.
I did check Twitter earlier today, and it seems from what's coming out from Mercedes, at least, that they might have already given up. It just looks that way. The way that they put out
a little strong language there, but. I get your appreciation that they may have decided that it's an uphill battle now, and they're not favourites. Yeah.
It's going to be tough. They got 4 races left. Max has a decent lead at the moment. All they can hope for is a DNF. Which
I actually heard another rumor about Mercedes that they're going to hire Daniel Kvyat to take Bottas's place. And thereby hoping to torpedo Max in the first corner again. I made that joke up just so I could say torpedo.
Why would they choose a second-hand driver when they got the number 1 driver to do that already?
Oh, because he's called the Torpedo. That's why.
Yeah,
that's his driving nickname in Formula One.
I know, but Bottas is at the moment doing a stellar job keeping Lewis from his next title, I think.
No, well, yeah, exactly. I think that's the real reason. I think he really suffered in the criticism in Hungary, where he took out Max Verstappen, and I think he suffered himself by what people have been saying about it, that it was the best he could do for Lewis, right? Rather than just beat Verstappen. And I think he's really stung by that. That would be my guess. And now he's trying to prove in this last few races, and he doesn't care who, he's going to get the best result he possibly can for himself. Which is what he said at the beginning of the year before last, right? Last year he came in, remember? It was the new Bottas because he'd grown a beard or some shit, right?
Yeah.
And he came in with this new aggressive attitude and all of that. I think he's just basically gone back to that attitude now and just gone, right, fuck Lewis. The only way I can beat him, I want to beat him before I go, so people don't shit on me too much when I'm at that wherever he's going, Sauber.
Well, I think that ship is already sailed, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck to him. You know?
Yeah, I would agree as well.
Good luck to him.
Well,
no, I mean,
yeah.
if he thinks about it, more power to him. But fuck me.
I'm so pissed off, mate. I'm so pissed off they didn't put George in there. I still, every time I sit down in front of the Grand Prix now, I just go, oh, fucking Bottas again. And he gets pole, right? So that puts Lewis onto the shitty side of the track straight away. He can't even do a fucking good job, you know, in fucking qualifying, right? To tow Lewis round to give him pole.
Well, you know what? Actually, in a track like Mexico, having Bottas ahead and Lewis second, I mean, it was actually a very good position to be in if you start properly and you tow the guy and you just launch him in the first corner. I mean, that would have been brilliant if you could do that. And Bottas, he couldn't. But so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, I completely agree. It could have gone differently. Bottas could have done a better job. And, of course, his starts are usually extremely good. Right? Yeah. He's the guy that got on the absolute legal limit of a false start. But for some reason, he just hasn't had the fucking shine on. Like Peter said, right? You know, qualified, great. Practice was great. Tyre usage, great. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everything was fucking perfect for him. And yet he still can't stay on the fucking racing line down at the first corner. That's what I have no concept how that is even possible. I mean, I'm not a Formula One driver, get me right. But if I was in that car with that talent, I'm sure I could just not steer it across to give the racing line to somebody else.
Sorry, just to be clear, you're still talking about Bottas, not Nigel Mansell, right? Okay,
Mansell had already made the deal by then, right? To get
I got a little bit
Ferrari
confused. No, it's okay. It's okay.
And remember, they signed Mansell as the number one driver, and when they signed Prost, they then had the problem of telling Mansell that he was going to be number two driver. Okay. So, I mean, it's just, again, Italian politics. What can I say? I'm defending Mansell here because he's obviously the reason.
Good. I mean,
he is the reason. He is the reason I watch Formula. Oh no, it's not him specifically. It's actually Alan Jones. But that he was the one that made me go, yeah, Williams is my team. You know, which obviously I regret.
Oh, sorry. No. Talking about Williams before we leave, I just want to a quick thing about a lady which died last week, and it's someone which has been working for the team, you know, for your team, Simos. I mean, the team that you're basically rooting for, Williams. Her name was Antonia Terzi. She was an aerodynamicist for Ferrari first, and then she was called by Patrick Head on Williams. She was the one which came up with that, you know, that strange nose on the Williams with the two fangs.
The two, yeah.
And she died last week in
the walrus tusks.
Yeah, the walrus.
Yeah.
She died last week in a car accident in the UK. She retired from F1. She was going to teach in Australia. I mean, she was teaching in England. Right. She was going to go to University of Canberra, and unfortunately, she passed out. But it's kind of a sad story because, you know, the F1 environment is notoriously hard for women. You know, it's mostly a male-dominated sport, and she was one of the first, proper brilliant engineer to step into the arena and do things which were recognized, so much so that Patrick Head, which is not an idiot, you know, he called her in Williams when he was co-owner, with Frank. That was unfortunate.
I think after Newey, Head is probably the best designer in F1 over the long run. Whether that's true at the moment or not, I'm not sure. But again, I mean, that was the biggest thing, wasn't it? You know, when everybody was, sorry to digress, but everybody was really down on McLaren. Do you remember, right?
Yeah.
They took all that time to drag themselves up from the back of the grid, right? When like Michael Andretti was racing for them or whatever.
Yeah.
And they took all that time to drag themselves back to the front again. They managed to get there. And then the first thing that happens is they lose all the staff that got them there, including the very key staff, like the best designers, etc., the best aerodynamicists, the best engineers. All of them just deserted. And that, straight after they built that factory as well.
Yeah.
So if there's a thing, people don't like to be all squished into some high-tech building in the middle of fucking nowhere in mental Keynes.
They also lost some hard drives on the way. I think that was part of the problem. But yeah.
No, that wasn't the problem. I've explained this several times.
That was. Oh yeah, it was a setup. Yeah, it was a conspiracy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah,
Oh,
aliens beamed the fucking hard drives
right,
into his safe.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. You bring the hard drives to a shop which make copies, and the guy is a Ferrari fan and recognizes the stuff and say, you know what? There's something fishy here. Let me check out. I mean, that was brilliant.
Well, what's better is it wasn't him that took it there and checked it. No. He just sent his wife.
Yeah.
He just said, "Oh, go on, love, do this for us, will you? I've got too much to do today. It's only the most important decision I'm ever going to make in my fucking life." Oh dear. Anyway, there you go. That was a story about how McLaren stole secrets from Ferrari. By the way.
To be fair, if you send your wife, you at least have someone to blame.
Yeah, that's true.
That might be
true.
it.
I think that's probably where we're going with that. But anyway, that's okay. Thank you very much, everybody. I think we're kind of done. Next Grand Prix, guys. Anybody know?
Next Grand Prix. I think it's Sunday. We have there's Savage asking a question. No, I was talking about politics.
Go ahead.
When we were talking about the Giovinazzi situation with Sauber, where Simos said it's Italian politics. Said, no, it's a Swiss politics. It's the owner of the team which never stand, the driver because of the situation. So that was it. That was that kind of politics. So.
Yeah, I mean basically, Giovinazzi is a young guy who's very talented. He came through the Ferrari Academy. He was destined for a Ferrari seat, but Ferrari obviously had Charles Leclerc, the pacey pastry. And they put him to the number 1 seat and signed him for about 300 years because that's how young he is. And so obviously that means there won't be a space for Giovinazzi, and he must have known that at the time. But they did manage to find him a place in the back of the green team. And since then, a load of politics have gone on to do with engines, to do with financing.
I mean, we never know. I mean, we got to see if next year car is good enough and Sainz cannot stand to be number 2. I mean, who the fuck knows what can happen in 23? So
yeah. No, you're right. You're right, actually. Yeah. But I think Sainz will keep playing the team game because he recognizes that unless you get into a Red Bull or a Mercedes, then you've got no chance anyway. So where would he go? You know what I mean?
Next year is basically who the fuck knows, right? So.
Yeah, and I think they would still pick Perez over Sainz just because the two are so similar. And then there's no point in changing. So I don't think he's ever going to get into a Red Bull. And even if he did, he still wouldn't. He'd still have to play number 2. So I think that's his problem.
I was talking about the fact that next year is who the fuck knows with the new cars. Everybody's got a new car, so.
Yeah,
who the fuck knows, if somebody makes something a little bit better than somebody else, and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not as hopeful as you might be. I guess I'm thinking, it's going to be a 10% chance of some kind of shake-up, and if there is some kind of shake-up, it's going to be at the back of the grid. It's not going to be at the front.
I mean, listen, man. 10% chance. It's way better than what there is now. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll take a 10% chance anytime, as compared to a 0% chance.
Yeah.
So
I think you can look at who's got the best wind tunnels, and who does the best, the best job in the wind tunnel, and say that that's pretty much how it's going to be. In which case, we're talking Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, exactly the same as this year, basically. So yeah, it seems in the past when they've changed or dramatically changed the aero regulations, then it's pretty much anybody that's got the computing power and the wind tunnels to it basically comes out on top. And so I don't think there's going to be any change from that kind of perspective, really. But there we go. We'll see what happens.
I do have
we've got.
I do have another question.
Oh, go ahead, please. Peter.
Related to next year. And I forgot who tested it. I think might have been Fiat who tested it. About the visibility because of the new wings that go over the front wheels. There was a concern.
I don't think they tested the cars.
No. They tested it in the simulator.
Oh, okay, the simulator. Okay, because I know they tested the tires.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that.
They've got the new wings that go over the front wheel.
Correct.
And
yes.
that is causing a visibility issue.
Okay.
I mean that sounds. I mean, I'm not saying it is impossible. It sounds quite strange to me because from the cockpit, basically, you cannot see anything which is in front of your front wheels anyway. I mean, you cannot even see the wheels.
No. But this seems to stick up and be in the line of visibility.
Yeah, they come over the top. Yeah. They come over the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, if they're not good enough to fucking deal with that, then just sack them straight away because obviously it's just a matter of knowing the size of your car. Just the same as you can't see the front wing, I
shall call you a Simos story from now on. Just sack him.
It might be a problem for Tsunoda, because it's not that tall. But I'm sure they can put some like a cushion under his bum, to just raise him up a little bit. I don't know. It's the only one I can see has got any problem. It's Tsunoda, poor bastard. I mean,
indeed. No, I mean, these issues have been talked about before, and of course, drivers will just adapt to whatever car they're given. So I don't think there's a serious discussion about whether those little winglets are going to obscure any more or make it to the point where they can't drive the cars or it's dangerous to drive the cars. I can't see that in any way. But of course, if they really felt that, then they could make them out of Perspex or something. I don't know. I'm joking, of course.
Yeah, but I'm sure if that was the case this year, I mean, at least Bottas could have blamed, the winglets.
Unbelievable. I'm so pissed off about Bottas. I actually wrote, didn't I, in Discord? You didn't see it.
Yeah. No, I saw that.
Literally, it happened. Right? I was having problems with my internet, so I started the race slightly late. I went, as soon as it happened, I was fucking Bottas. And as he's racing down towards the corner, I'm already starting going, fuck, what you fuck, what? And then he let him pass, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was just like, please, Verstappen, go off at the first corner. Please go off at the first corner.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable because he was looking at the right mirror. You could see his helmet. He was looking at the right mirror where Hamilton was.
Yeah, exactly. He was literally looking at Hamilton, squeezing him a little bit. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And what really pissed me off is he left just at the right time. That as Verstappen's coming up to him, Verstappen, all has to do is pull out from behind the slipstream and pass. Doesn't have to fucking slightly brake or take his foot off because he's approaching to. No. It's as he's accelerating up. I mean, couldn't have timed it any better.
Bottas did all the job for him. I mean, he braked like 20 minutes earlier than everybody else.
And braked early enough to not allow him to get... Oh, my God. Fucking Bottas.
And he was looking in the right mirror to see that Daniel Ricciardo was behind him, and he cut him off.
Yeah, again, I have no idea. No idea. I mean, again, to be fair, Daniel Ricciardo locked up his right wheel into that corner, and obviously that's why he crashed into the back of him. However, Bottas shouldn't have even been there because he backed off like he was in sixth place.
No, but you're right. I mean, but I maintain the fact that, first of all, if Bottas didn't break where he break, I don't think that Ricciardo would have, smashed into Bottas, first of all. And the second thing, I haven't heard, Ricciardo talking about that. I'm not sure
today on Twitter
that the reason why Ricciardo had a lock on the wheel was because of Bottas breaking so early.
Yeah.
Today on
agree.
Twitter, he let know that after reviewing the crash, he had a different opinion. He thought it was his mistake because he apologized to Bottas. After reviewing the replays from several angles, he was no longer of the opinion that it was his mistake.
Listen, if I were Ricciardo, I would punch Bottas in the face next time I see it.
I definitely next time he brings a beer, I definitely wouldn't tip him.
Oh yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Thank you. Oh, let me say then, we are in Brazil next week. As Fabio says, it's next week, and it's Brazil. A track which favours Red Bull again, so I guess we're getting more of the fucking same.
And we
Please look out the things. Sorry again.
We have the sprint race in Brazil.
Yep.
And we have the sprint race, of course we do,
too.
which is extremely boring at Brazil with these cars. Nonetheless, that's fine. It's more of the same. Thing to look out for next.
It's extra points.
It's extra
so
points. Yeah.
If
that's very exciting.
Max capitalizes on that, he can pull away even further by making more points in the sprint race.
It's also an extra chance for Bottas to fuck something up. So
that too.
Yeah, we're past it. I think we're past a few points making the difference here. Okay, I think we're talking DNF or it's never going to happen now. But anyway, that's my position. Just to say, the thing to look out for really is whether Bottas is going to keep playing the team player that he has been in the last race and a half, which of course the team I'm talking about there is Red Bull.
There is one thing that Mercedes
or whether
could
he
do.
gets COVID, as Fabio predicts.
No,
yes.
there is another thing that Mercedes could do, because Alpha has told Bottas that he can test in where is it, Bahrain?
End of the year, wherever that is. Yeah. Yes.
Except he doesn't have permission from Mercedes yet.
Right.
No, also, I mean, sorry, before leaving, talking about that COVID thing, I don't know if he's going to get COVID, but remember that the next 3 races are back-to-back. So that would be a really good time to get COVID and just jump, I don't know, 2 or 3 races just like that. Because it's going to be 3 weeks anyway.
You're thinking. Who is the guy that fills in for
I was going to say that.
Is it Dan Fritti, Dan Kitty, Dan what's his name?
Franchitti?
No. Is it Franchitti that I'm thinking of? Di Resta.
Di Resta, yeah. Hey, listen, it's gonna be probably Total Wolf or whatever the fuck he is.
If he hold on.
Wolf.
If he gets COVID, do you think they're going to not put Russell in the Mercedes car?
Yes, that's what we think.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what we think. I mean, I don't know about you. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. Williams is fighting for points every race, so
fuck Williams.
Do they really want to lose Russell? I don't know.
Fuck Williams. They don't have a choice. They just don't have a choice.
Yeah, they might put Di Resta in the Williams and have Russell in the Mercedes. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I can't see them doing it any other way because obviously they've already signed.
If he gets COVID. If he gets COVID.
We don't
know, but...
And that might be the one thing that will prevent him from getting COVID, knowing that George Russell will be in the car.
Yeah. I mean, if I were Lewis, I'd get his dog COVID and then send him round to stay with Bottas for a short while.
I think that the kind of COVID that me and Simos are talking about is not... it's kind of a new strain, the one that you cannot really find with a test.
There are no symptoms. So what can you do?
it's I've heard that there might be a new strain of COVID that basically only Toto Wolff can figure out and decide if you have got it or not.
Yeah.
And it's really dangerous for everybody. So yeah, it might do the thing. And
I mean, Toto Wolff's doctor obviously is the first person who discovered it.
Yeah.
And well, funnily enough, Bottas is likely to be the second case, because I think there may have been another case that they got from the Sauber team.
I was thinking of that. The same COVID that Raikkonen had, partying in the hotel room.
He might party too hard.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh dear. Thank you. I think we're going to leave it there, gentlemen. Thank you so much for everybody and your inputs. That's really great. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Lucky Wolf. How are you doing? Thank you. Look back, because there was some funny stuff. Let me just read his comment. Vakrashen is going to mess up before the end of the year. He will get pressured and do something stupid. I think we need to just comment on that, Fabio, if you would.
I don't think so.
I mean, I would have agreed with him if it was last year. Especially in the last races, I've seen Verstappen, a really solid driver, somebody that almost unrecognizable, even the way he talks on the radio, stuff like that. I think it's way more solid. He actually sees the championship. He knows it's there, and now he knows that it's not him which he can win it. It's him that he could lose it, and so
that's an extra pressure. Yeah, that's an extra pressure. I mean, I am hoping like anything, because I want to see Lewis like either fail at the end, like Massa did, or or win it at the end. I don't mind which. I just want it to go down to the end of the season. I really do.
If we can get it in the last corner.
Because then at least Max has really earned it, rather than what I consider to be slightly fortuitous in that politics and the circumstances to do with Bottas, to do with the Mercedes dropping off, to do with the lack of development this year because of next year's car. All of these problems, which could be raised to say it's kind of cheapens the championship that Max has got, or is probably going to get at the moment. So I'd like to see it go down to the end anyway, just to say, so people will say, Max's first year was an amazing classic year, much the same way they say about Lewis Hamilton, who of course lost his rookie year by 2 points or something, I think. That's what I hope anyway. But you're right, Lucky, it's his to lose. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Peter, did you want to say something?
Yeah, there was 1 point, if I recall correctly. He lost it to Raikkonen.
Oh, 1 point. Yeah. I couldn't quite remember, but yeah, it was very, very close. Basically, it was that mistake in China, wasn't it, that really fucked him up.
I do.
Anyway,
I do have one more thing. Next show, we can actually pull back the comments, because there was an internet connection that fell over, and I could have fixed it before we went live if I had restarted OBS, but so it'll work again.
I always make sure we go live on time. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that there was an issue there, but we'll get that sorted next time. No problem.
Apologies to the people in chat that we couldn't pull up your comments. We will be able to do that again next week.
Yeah, hopefully we got to them all anyway, so that's great. Okay, so once again, thank you very much, everybody. Peter was sending you off to Brazil, so just down the road. Hopefully I'm going to send you an extra $20 to buy something or to get somewhere a bit more special. That will come out of your pay at the end of the season, if you don't mind.
Obviously.
But nonetheless, $20 to you just to upgrade your accommodation in Brazil. So I expect to see something a little more dramatic than you in the garden park there. Although I do notice. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you want me to dress up in a banana hammock or something like that? I mean,
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Whatever the fuck you do, don't forget to bring the receipts, because we're paying money here.
Yeah.
So we are not made of money, so we need receipts. So.
And I'm not paying for any more of those women that you keep sending receipts for. Okay. Anyway, there you go. Thank you, Peter, very much for being at the track. Thank you, Fabio, for joining us, and thank you, everybody, for watching. And we shall see you all later. Take care,
Okay.
everybody. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And thank you for the likes as well. I didn't even mention it, and you've already done it all, so great. Please, take it
Bye-bye.
away, Peter.
Okay, bye-bye.